This is a lot of fun for me to talk about because my goal from this entire masterclass is to make you employable, and creating a lookbook does just that. Let's talk about what a lookbook is. It doesn't matter if you're color correcting or color grading, it's good business to give your clients some options. And that's all this is. Usually it goes like this. You create a Rec 709 look, which is basically your base grade. Then you create a hero look, which is going to be your favorite colorist cut, if you will. And then you're going to create a punchy look. So you're going to take your cut and kind of just exaggerate it a little bit. And then you're going to create a no look, which is basically you want them to hate and eliminate that right away. And then Rec 709, nobody wants. Punchy is going to be maybe too much for them. So then automatically they're going to pick your look. So that's a little game you got to play, but you got to present this to your client. And guys, presentation is everything, especially for a colorist. It's a conversation starter, and the lookbook is a solid way to do that. Let me show you what it looks like. So let's just create a Rec 709. What I want to do is I want to drop in my color transform. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it in a second. I'm gonna create a node before this one, and in this one, we'll pull everything back. And then I'll bring my mids up, and then I'll keep doing this dance until everything is looking kosher. I'll go right here and give it some saturation. Okay, so I see the detail right here in the cars and all that. So this pretty much can be a Rec 709. You know, one thing that I do want to do is I want to go in here and hue versus saturation, and I want to grab my blue and just pull that down a little bit, okay? So this is my Rec 709. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Saved. Now what I want to do is create another node, and this is where we start adding some punch. I'm not necessarily going for a full-on look, but let's just say, you know, this is my main thing. That's where I want to put most of my focus on. So I'm going to create a window like that. Boom. Something like that. I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to go in here, grab my curves, put more focus right in there. And then what I want to do is I want to create an outside node. And here I just want to kind of do the opposite. So not too much, because then you're going to start cracking your image. So something like that is good. Maybe a little bit lower. Something like that. It's fine. And then what we want to do is we want to grab this and we want to track this. Okay, so I'm going to track it forward, track it backwards, and that's a pretty nice track. Latches on really nicely. And let's just say I call this my hero look. Now I'm going to go ahead and create punchier look. So what I'm going to do is just add more contrast. Maybe lift my blacks a little, bring my highlights, my gain down a little, and then give it a bit more contrast. Bring this down. And you know what I want to do? I don't want to do a sloppy job. So I want to go in here and I want to go easy on that contrast. So I'm just going to do this and I'm going to do that. Just super subtle, nothing too crazy. Now I want to go back and forth. So this was my hero. And then this is my punch. It's looking pretty good, but you know what? Like I said, I don't want to exaggerate it. I still want to do it right. So this is good. So that's my punch. Now I'm going to go ahead and create another one. And then in this one, what we usually do is kind of do the opposite. So I'm going to reset this node and then go ahead and just create sort of like a low contrast. You know, we can even reset this node and just do like a, make it a little bit cooler. Just give it a different look and then we'll see what they say. But like, let's balance it out. So something like that. It's just a little different. So now we have our 4 looks. And let's make it full screen and move this over and get rid of this. So now I have my 4 looks. So I have my Rec 709, I have my hero look, I have my puncher look, and I have my no look. None of these look bad. So even this has its own little flavor that I like. I'm almost liking the rocks here more than here because it's actually looking nice and brown instead of this super red thing that's going on in the rest of them. Ultimately, I would go with my hero shot, but I will present this. This is my lookbook and then let the client decide. And this is what starts the dialogue. And this is how you gain trust in their eyes. And once that happens, the bounce backs are out the window and you are a freaking rock star. And you can just go out there at that point and do your own thing. And this is the foundation of color grading. Once you have this as a colorist, and if you start off color correcting things for them, you do stuff like that, present yourself as a rock star colorist, then you name your price. All of a sudden, you're going to go from junior colorist to senior colorist pay grade. Don't overlook this video because this will be the difference between killing it, getting a bump in your pay, or not having a job at all.